What's happening, guys? Gabe Mazar, Global Sales Evangelist at LucidChart. Thank you so much for joining me for this quick tutorial on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. In this tutorial video, I'm going to show you two things. Number one, how to search for leads. Number two, how to search for accounts. Nice and easy, to the point, to get you up and running, to get the most out of your LinkedIn Sales Navigator subscription. Before we get started, I want to show you, you need to understand first what type of LinkedIn Sales Navigator accounts are available to you, or what do you have. So if you go to this LinkedIn up here, to this link in the upper left hand corner of the window, which I'm going to put in the description below, you can see here the different features and functionalities and benefits that you get when you are using LinkedIn Free versus LinkedIn Premium Business, Sales Navigator Professional, Sales Navigator Team, and Enterprise. And the check marks pretty much does the talking for you. And so again, you need to really understand what is it that you need, what is it that you are wanting to achieve in order to know which account you really need. So if you're just starting out, I highly recommend just the Sales Navigator Professional. If your company gives you an account, great, kudos to you. And yeah, all right, let's get to it. So once you log into your LinkedIn Sales Navigator account, it's pretty easy. Once you log in, you're gonna have to set up your sales preferences. And this is really important because LinkedIn Sales Navigator preferences work depending on the information that you tell the system. So let's say you're territory based, then you might want to put the territories in here. Let's say you're industry based, or you want to focus on a specific industry, you want to put those in here. Let's say you're focusing on a specific vertical or company size or segment, you want to put those in here. So the more information you can add to the system, okay, in the sales preferences section, the smarter LinkedIn Sales Navigator will be. Therefore, it'll provide to you more rich and useful information for both leads and for both accounts. So once you create your account, don't disregard the sales preferences. Please take a few minutes to update these, and it's all going to make sense once I kind of deep dive and show you how to do this. So there's a lot of bells and whistles in LinkedIn Sales Navigator, but it all comes down to this. You mouse over the advanced section. Again, there's two options, search for leads and search for accounts. So let me go ahead and show you how to search for accounts. Pretty simple. Once you click on search for accounts, a bunch of filters pop up and that are going to allow you to just put any information you want here. So as an example, let's say I'm searching for companies in Utah. Now this is as simple as just putting the state Utah, right? But as I type in Utah, I see these other cities, whether it's big cities, small cities, large cities, that LinkedIn has recognized as a legit entity or legit keyword. So what most people do is just, okay, I'm targeting the state of Utah and that's it. But little do they know that a lot of companies that are in LinkedIn haven't listed themselves just that they're located in Utah. Some of them have listed themselves as they are located in Salt Lake, in Provo, Utah, Ogden. So make sure, the tip here is whenever you're searching or segmenting by geography, that you add all the possible combinations of words or cities that are around that area. Okay, as you can see, as I add more, 41,683. West Jordan, 683. Logan, let's see if this changes, 684, so a little bit more. And I'm just going to go on and click on all these. And let's see, it keeps going up. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, so now I know for sure I have increased my chances of finding companies in the geographic area of Utah. Now, if I want to specifically find companies in the software industry, this is where I would do it. And I just type in software, computer software. So in the state of Utah, according to all these cities and geographies, there's 1,300 companies, according to LinkedIn, that are in the computer software industry. Okay, going down, and you have a lot of other filters that you can find, such as annual revenue, are they a Fortune 100, Fortune 5000, etc. How much growth have they been having the past year or so? Same with how much department growth, etc. So company headcount. So let's say I want to target companies in the state of Utah that are in the computer software industry and that are, let's say, mid-market. So 500, 200, and let's go like that. So company headcount, 200 to 500, 500 to 1,000, 51 to 200. So it boils it down even more, 133. Okay, keep going down. Now there's another area called other filters. The technologies used filter, I would say, is still being built and is still being developed. Sometimes, let's say if you know that you can start typing some words or technologies that your buyers use. So at Lucidchart, sometimes our buyers use Confluence. So if I type in Confluence, Atlassian Confluence, that shows up. Again, I'm not sure how accurate it is. I haven't had a lot of experience. Our sales reps here haven't been using it or haven't had a lot of success with it. I don't recommend messing with it unless you truly identify a technology that you know that whenever your buyers are using that technology, then that's a better fit for you guys. So again, test it out, type in a keyword, see if it shows up in this drop-down menu, and go ahead. So let's say I want to go ahead and search for this. So I type search. On the left-hand corner here, you can see all the criteria that I've selected. Now from here, you could do a few things. Number one, on the left-hand side, it's showing you there's 133 results. On the right-hand side, it tells you, by the way, there are 20 individuals that are senior leaders in their companies that you specified that have changed jobs in the past 3 months. Meaning, if you scroll down, if you click on this criteria, it shows you that obviously how many people you are connected to that work at that company. That's pretty cool. And then it tells you, hey, 1 senior management hire at Domo. At Workfront, there have been 3 senior management hires at Workfront. And now again, this is the past 3 months, the past 90 days. At HireVue, it doesn't show me any, Advanced MD, etc. So if you are targeting senior leadership, right, in specific companies, this might be a good filter that you should check out and a good starting point. Now, if I click on one of them, it shows me who it is. So GM of North America, Jim Kowalski. Awesome, congrats, dude. So again, I'm just showing you all the capabilities and functionalities that you could use. Now, what you want to do is you want to start saving some of these. So let's say after you did your search parameter, you type enter. If you want, you can select all, and that's great. It only selects the ones that are displayed in page 1. In this example, I only had page 1. Sometimes it's going to show you page 2, 3, 4, and so on. So I want to save these. Why do I want to save them? Because once you save these, right, then when you go to your home tab, there's a section that allows you to see news or insights or when that company has been mentioned in the news. That way you can have more conversation, more or high quality or relevant conversations, icebreaker conversations. It pretty much turns on a crawler and it notifies you, hey, when Domo is in the news, it will email you or it'll show you relevant information about the companies you have saved. So you click on them, save. Now you don't have to save all of them. Let's say I just wanted to save 5. All you have to do is select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and save. Okay. Now, if you identify, okay, Domo's the one I want to target, then click on View All Employees, and from here, then you can narrow down your search even more. So we went from searching for an account, and now we're in the account, and now we can search for leads. Okay. You can go back to the account. Okay. So that is how you can search and use, again, the account filters. Okay, so that is it for that. Now, it gets really, really good when you search for leads. Let me show you how. Click on search, and then what you do here is, again, start by geography. If you're not geographic based, if you're segmented by size or verticals, obviously I'm showing you all the capabilities and functions that you can have here. So let's say Salt Lake City. So I type in Greater Salt Lake City area, and let's say I'm having a business trip to Salt Lake City next month, and I want to see who are VPs of sales and marketing in the Salt Lake City area that I could drop by since I'm visiting customer XYZ. So not only do I just have to type the Greater Salt Lake City area, I recommend that you also type exact name of the city and select that. Again, so that's 746,000. Now, if I 307, if I delete, so you can see here in this example, this city, or vice versa, it might add or remove specific people that I wouldn't have otherwise showed up. So Salt Lake City, Utah, bam. Okay, 746,000 search results. Okay, and then earlier at the beginning of this video, I told you to choose your sales preferences wisely. So remember that, because I'm going to show you before I click on search here. So let's say I'm going to go to Salt Lake next month. Again, I want to target people who are in the software industry. Okay, those are my ideal customer profile. I want to target people who I'm not connected to, so second degree, third degree. Okay, school, let's say anybody that went to Utah Valley University and anybody that went to Brigham Young, because that could be a good conversation right there. First name, no. Profile language, no. You don't have to worry about that. Last name, no. Seniority level, this is very important. So what you can do here is, now there's two things you can do here. Now, one is you can search, if you know the exact title or keywords that your buyers put in as their headline or as their title, put it in here. That could mean, again, if I'm targeting VPs of sales and VPs of marketing, I type in quotations, that's called Boolean search, VP sales. If you put the of in here, it doesn't really matter because it's such a small keyword. So VP of sales, close quotations, capital O, capital R, or VP of marketing, okay? And then you close it, okay? And then you do or vice president of sales, or just sales. By now you probably should be like, whoa, I get it. So the reason why we want to put VP and then also spell it out vice president is because some people label themselves or identify themselves with the keyword VP, of those others with vice president. And this one's going to be vice president of marketing. Again, this is if you know your buyers and you know exactly who you're going after. So there's 93 people who are in the computer software industry, second and third degree, who are in Salt Lake City or greater Salt Lake City area, who went or are currently going, whether they finished school or not, it doesn't matter as long as they listed it in their profile, BYU, UVU, who have listed themselves in any of these 4 different titles, 93. Now, if you don't know the Boolean search string or you don't want to try Boolean search string, then that's okay. Now, it's not going to be as accurate, but still, it's better than nothing. So you delete this. Let's say you don't want to try that. You can go seniority level, and then you want to go for VP, and then you want to go for function, and then you want to put sales, and you want to put marketing. Bam. 37. So you see here, the difference is when you know specifically your buyers, and again, I highly recommend what's it called, Gartner. I just got back from the Gartner Sales and Marketing Conference that they held in Vegas. So Brent Adamson and Matt Dixon, you probably heard of them. They're the co-authors of the Challenger Sale. They put together this annual report of what's the status of buying, B2B buying. And they've identified, you probably heard that the stat, it takes 5.4 different people. It takes, 5.4 individuals are in the buying process in a traditional B2B buying journey. Well, that 5.4 is now 6 to 10. So if you want to increase your chance of penetrating an account and being top of mind and increase your chance of creating pipe and getting their attention, you want to target 6 to 10 individuals per account that are either decision makers, influencers, or the buyers themselves or champions inside. Again, 1 is not enough, 2, 3, 4, 5, go 6 to 10 and maybe even more. So as I was saying here, when I did Boolean search string, and when I typed in the quotations and or, and I knew the titles, I got 90 something. If I just let LinkedIn do the searching for me by telling them, hey LinkedIn, do your best to find people who are VPs of marketing and sales, it gave me almost like a third of the results that I was having. So that's an eye-opener right there. So let's just, for this example, I'm going to search for this. Company, no. Company headcount, company type, no. Okay, we're good here. Groups, become a member, tags. You can mess with these if you want. Obviously, this is just telling you like the company headcount, company type, if it's public, private. Let's say you know that whenever you talk to VPs of marketing and sales at nonprofits, that's your ideal customer profile or ICP. Great. And company, you obviously don't know which company because you're looking for individuals, not specific people at companies. If you want to look for companies, again, do the other search where it says accounts. And this is a pretty cool one, just as an FYI. This will show you and you can filter by people out of these 37 search results, how many of them joined LinkedIn a day ago, 2 to 7, 8 to 14, 15 to 30, 1 to 3 months ago. And what I like to do, and I've told other people in other videos or training or workshops, is that some of these people are LinkedIn message virgins, meaning that they have never been pitched through a LinkedIn message. So what if a VP of marketing or sales were to join LinkedIn, and within a week or two or a month, you are the first sales rep to ever hit them up on LinkedIn, right? And you probably get a meeting or get their attention since you're the first one, right? Versus now, if you ping a VP of sales and marketing, right, you can use that messaging if they've been on the platform quite a bit. So that's pretty cool. Groups used to be quite a bit relevant. Nowadays, no. Not a lot of people are engaging in groups lately, even though LinkedIn is really trying to put an effort in reimagining or reinventing groups. Tags, I'm going to show you what tags is in just a second. Now, CRM contacts is a cool feature that allows you to sync your data, your Salesforce data, to LinkedIn. And I'm going to make another video called LinkedIn Sales Navigator and Salesforce, how those work seamlessly together. But what you can do here, if you have, I believe, either a team license or an enterprise license, you can turn on the CRM sync, which allows you to have an HTML iframe inside of Salesforce. You can save, you can see icebreakers, you can save context there, leads, and you can see all sorts of a limited amount of information that you see here. It allows you to see that inside Salesforce, which is pretty cool. So you can actually say, at least 37 people, show me only new ones, or show me ones that are in my CRM, etc. Okay, so you can do that. But for this example, I just want to type search. Before I click search, as I told you earlier, if I were to toggle this, my sales preferences would show up, meaning, and this would override and trump any other information I have in here. So that's why it's important sometimes to have, not sometimes, but you should have your sales preferences set from the very beginning. For this example, I'm just not gonna, what happened here? It went from 37 to, oh, that's why. It deleted my sales and marketing. That's interesting. Okay, oh, obviously, okay, because okay, sales and marketing, 218, who are VPs, industry, that's why. Software, bam, 9 results, second degree, Salt Lake City. Oh, it removed my Salt Lake City, Utah, greater Salt Lake City, Utah. You see, all this, I'm glad this little hiccup happened so you can see how important it is to specify to LinkedIn all the information you want in order to provide you all the potential buyers you could talk to, okay? Now, a lot of sales reps are using LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Kudos to you and your team if you're a pro at Sales Navigator, if you're starting your journey, but you're not the only one using this tool. So the more information that you put versus other sales reps that are not putting information, then you have an advantage there. So greater Salt Lake City area, bam. Okay, 37, search. Now it gets even better, guys. I'm telling you, I'm just getting pumped here. Out of those 37 search results, 2 of them have changed jobs in the past days. So what I can do here is I can save these guys. And why do we want to save? Once we save leads, you can get notifications whenever any of these leads change jobs, whenever they share anything on LinkedIn, whenever their work anniversary comes up, whenever they any sort of triggered selling event, any trigger happens that LinkedIn thinks is a good idea for you to know of, or so that way you can find an excuse to reach out to instead of just talking about the weather or how's your mom or your dad or whatever. That's not relevant. So what you can do here, a lot of times when you save a lead, it's going to ask you, hey, which account is this lead associated to? So all you have to do is choose one. Let's say it is this one. Sure, let's say it's this one. Okay, so then I save that one and I save this one, so that way I have 2. And now from here, what I can do is I can either send them an InMail, and then this is going to open a new window. I can also, view similar leads, meaning if I click on this, it's going to show me people like Derek Bryce that are not at Moment, but that are in other companies with the similar characteristics and profiles as Derek, which is pretty cool because if you had an awesome conversation with Derek and you got his attention and he was digging your product or service, you're like, I wish I could find more people like Derek. Well, you can no longer wonder about that. You can actually do it. Mouse over these 3 dots, click on View Similar, and bam, that's it. Now, what else you can do here is, again, send an InMail, or you can add a tag. And I'm going to show you why adding tags is relevant here. So if I want to send InMail, bam, and it shows me here, one person can introduce me to Derek. That's Keith Tanaka, my boy Keith. Mahalo sales process in action. Or, and I have 149 shared common connections with Derek. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, Gabe, I haven't used, or I'm too scared, or I haven't leveraged LinkedIn Sales Navigator InMails. Well, depending on which program or which account type you have anywhere from 30, 50 a month that recur, and they don't add up. You can only get up to so many per month, and meaning they can only stack up so many times, and after that you lose them. And the cool trick about LinkedIn Sales Navigator InMails, or just InMails as a whole, is that whenever you send one, as long as that individual replies, whether yes or no, I'm not interested, I'm interested, yes, let's talk, you get that credit back automatically. So if your message is relevant, meaning if it gets their attention, if it's personalized, if it has the 2x2, what I like to call, find 2 things about your buyer in 2 minutes or less, and embed that information in the InMail, then you're definitely going to get their attention. If you do that, then you're going to get unlimited InMails or unlimited messaging to cold prospects or to people, individuals, buyers that have never heard of you. So it's pretty cool. So what I like to say is that you can either be 1 in maybe like 7 InMails that this buyer gets per week, or you could be 1 in 300 emails that this individual gets per day. You do the math, I think not a lot of sales reps are leveraging and capitalizing and taking advantage of InMails. Those who are here at Lucidchart are killing it, are setting tons of appointments. Don't underestimate the power of InMails. Use them. If you have a LinkedIn sales account, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, please use it. I beg you. Now, a few cool features about LinkedIn Sales Navigator InMails is that you can have icebreakers. So again, 173 shared connections. That's pretty cool. We both attended BYU. We're both part of mutual groups. If I want to kind of say, hey, congrats, I noticed that InMoment was awarded top company for being diverse or having diversity, or they hired a new CMO, etc. So you can use these as your 2x2 and insert that in here in the subject line or in the body of the text. So that is InMail. If you have, again, a certain type of enterprise license, you can copy to CRM, meaning anything you send in InMail automatically attaches to that contact in Salesforce. That way you can track your social touches and measure certain activities to increase predictability and create a predictable sales process, like Aaron Ross likes to call it. You can also attach a PDF here. You see this little button right here, the little clip. And so if you can attach a GIF, you can attach a PDF, a slide share, a PowerPoint, you call it a one-pager. So use the attachment. It's super powerful. Now again, when should you use an InMail versus a phone call versus an email? You're your best judge. You know your buyers better than anybody else. You're at your company. What works at Lucidchart in terms of like, hey, is it better to connect on LinkedIn versus sending an InMail? Is it better to follow on LinkedIn versus sending an InMail? You just got to try it. Test all the possible scenarios and then see what works best and scale on that, okay? Now, moving on here, let's say out of these 37 people, 9 of them, okay, have been active on LinkedIn the past 30 days, meaning these individuals have posted something on LinkedIn, a status update or a post, okay? Now, you can do 2 things on LinkedIn. You can obviously engage with people on LinkedIn, like, comment, share. You can post something, an article, your words, a motivational quote or whatever, and you can also write an article. This right here is a post, meaning a status update, a post. So meaning these people are quite engaged on LinkedIn, and which communicates to me that if I were to reach out to these people on LinkedIn, they will for sure see it. Now, if the profile says open, this means that Doug Knight here, Ivanti, is open to receiving messages from people that are not even connected to him, which is awesome because you don't even have to use an InMail credit for this. So if it says CRM, this means that this person is in my CRM already. Okay, if I've already viewed one of these buyers' profile, it might say viewed, so that's pretty cool, and it's open, etc. So that's what these icons mean. So I love when I'm teaching this to sales reps, or when I'm going after a certain account that I want to help sales reps penetrate. If it says open, those are like top of my list. Those are prioritized, especially if I've already have their correct filters here on the left, and so on. Now, let's say I have identified all these individuals, and I want to keep a close eye on them, keep a close tab. Then I would select all, and I would tag them, and I would create a new tag, and I would call them, SLC, Salt Lake City, active on LinkedIn, VP Marketing and Sales. Okay, create new, bam. So next time, if I want to see what's going on with these individuals, since I've tagged all 9 of them, next time I do a search at the bottom here, you can click on tags and you can filter by the tag that you created and added people to. Super cool, because as you do this a lot, it can get really messy. It can get very hard to keep track of everybody, but LinkedIn has made it super, super awesome. Holy crap, I've been talking a lot. Just realized that. Give me a sec. I like to take these in one shot. A lot easier to edit and all that. But I was saying is the tags, use the tags. Now, a great way to use the tag is, again, by specifically searching for a group of people with certain criteria and then tagging them. Now, if you want to come back to this search, to this specific search, then you can save the search. And you can actually get alerts, either monthly, daily, never, or weekly, to your email whenever somebody joins that criteria. So this is going to be my all SLC sales marketing VPs. Okay, and I want to get daily emails whenever somebody, you see here, I created all these saved searches, and it's telling me that 151 individuals have joined this specific search criteria that I saved. If this gets too overwhelming and it spams your email too much, then go weekly, monthly, etc. Okay, I want to get daily, save, bam, and that's it. So we just went through two things. Let me review these. Number 1, account results. Let me clear these. How to search for accounts. Okay, you can have these here on the left-hand side. These expand, or you can click on View All Filters, and bam, all of them are right there. Or you can search for leads specifically, and here are all the filters, or if you want to see all of them, bam, right there. Now, what is the Home tab? The Home tab, now that you know how to search for accounts and how to search for leads, the Home tab lets you see, it's pretty much a news feed of the people that you have saved, meaning leads and accounts. So Gabe Larson shared an update, and here's his update. And it even tells you more information about him. And you can filter these type of updates based on most important, most recent, or let's say by type, sales alerts. Even Steven Sandwiches, their growth has slowed down by 10% the past year. Railroad 19 is in hyper growth or whatever. They've grown 33% the past year, and so on. So it gives you insights. Okay, it gives you super valuable, relevant insights that no other platform does it the way they do. Because LinkedIn has 500+ million professional users, which is one of the world's largest professional, if not it's actually the world's largest professional network. So they have the beauty of having all this data, and they package all this data in a nice, presentable way, which is LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Again, if you're a sales rep, please, you should be living inside of Salesforce. Inside of Sales Navigator in Salesforce, or in Sales Navigator, it's in its own separate tab. Okay, you can see job changes. Out of all the leads that I've saved, who has actually changed jobs? Because I know that if Sid Suri is one of my customers, and we're good friends, and we develop a relationship, and he moved, chances are that I'm going to try to sell to him because I already know him. And if he had a good experience with me, the way I treated him and my product, he might want to take that same product or service to his new company. Or if you're keeping tabs on a few buyers and they leave, then you might want to stop working with them and not waste your time. So play around with these filters by type. You can filter your updates by most important, most recent. You can filter them by top accounts and so on. On the right hand side here, you see your SSI, which is a score depending on how engaged you are, how optimized you are, and so on. I think it's great. Don't put too much emphasis and don't let this hurt your ego. SSI is just one way to show you and communicate to your team, if you have a team, that hey, I am social selling, I'm using Sales Navigator. Don't take it too seriously, it's cool. And let's say when you go into an account, once you go into an account view in Sales Navigator, there's a lot of cool stuff you could do here. You can add a note. Let's say did a demo on Thursday at 3 p.m. went well, and you want to save those notes to the CRM, meaning to Salesforce. You can toggle this and save. That's going to sync. Okay, yes, close. Okay, from here you can also add a note, view in CRM, view on LinkedIn.com, or copy the LinkedIn URL. You can also add tags to accounts. So again, if you want to filter and say, show me here all the, let's say you have your territory is Utah and let's say it's Colorado. Well, you can tag specific accounts in Colorado and Utah and say, here are my Denver accounts, and tag up like 10 companies in Denver with like the Denver account, and here are 10 companies and tag in my SLC account. So that's why tags are also worthwhile and relevant for accounts. People, these are all the leads I have saved per account. Okay, activity, it tells you the last touch that I did and performed. Recommended leads shows you who in Domo is also worthwhile pursuing according to their algorithm, and this is pretty spot on. So 19 people have a new role. Either they've been promoted or they've been hired at Domo, etc. 3 of them have been mentioned in the news. 53 of them have been active on LinkedIn based on LinkedIn's recommendations. Let's say Lucid, right? Let's give Lucid some love here. So at Lucidchart, if I was selling to Lucidchart, I could see, again, similar data. Now here, and it also shows you, here are your first connections, second, third degrees at Lucid. And something that's really cool, last but not least, is News and Insights. News and Insights gives you a lot of awesome data. Again, like with all this data that's given to you, to us, to anybody that uses LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you should never, ever, ever have a phone call or a discovery call or a presentation call or demo call, whatever, where you're just asking some of these basic questions where you could have found all the answers if you only had looked and paid attention and took note of all this information that LinkedIn provides you prior to a call, prior to a discovery. So let's say over the past 2 years, let's see what's been going on. So Lucid has grown, right, from 205 individuals, which is about when I joined, and right now it's about 400. Its sales department has grown the past 2 years 189%. Marketing 69%, 27%, and so on. And guys, this is super valuable information. You gotta leverage this. From here, you can see, okay, I wanna see how many of my leads that I have saved are sharing things on LinkedIn, and it shows you right here. How many, what else do I wanna filter by? Account news. So Lucid was mentioned in the news, so we recently raised $72 million. Series C, pretty big deal here. We're hiring, we have opening a new office in Amsterdam, and we have our HQ in Salt Lake City, Utah, so ping me if you want to learn more about that. Here are the things that Lucid is sharing on their LinkedIn company page. Here are news of the leads I have saved that have been mentioned in the news publicly, and so on. So wanted to give you just a quick glimpse of what LinkedIn Sales Navigator could do for you. There's a lot of other bells and whistles, but I just broke it down to like, this is how it operates, this is how it works. And again, you learn by doing, you don't learn by watching and reading, okay? So be a doer. After you're done watching this video, get to work, okay? Watch this video one more time, maybe to get it, fast forward it, whatever. Connect with me on LinkedIn. I would love to help you even more. I would love to hear your success. And I hope that, this has been useful. I also have 2 new social selling courses. Ping me if you want access to those. Social selling with LinkedIn and social selling with Twitter. That's it, and that's all. Peace.